It's time for an I Believe Friday. We get to celebrate today as we get into Labor Day weekend. So here's the thing on His Radio. Open up the My HISRadio app right now, the My HISRadio app, and then use the open mic and start your sentence with I believe. For instance, we'll start with Scott. Scott, what do you believe?
I believe I'm going to be barking tomorrow. Here's why. Because my Georgia Bulldogs take the field. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
See? He's in.
Yeah.
He is
barking now.
I believe we're going to have a great time with our friends who are camping this weekend, and we get to crash their party for a day. That's tomorrow.
Woohoo! I believe that this weekend I am decorating for fall no matter what the calendar says.
Okay, what is it? It's an I Believe Friday. Open up the My HISRadio app, tap on the open mic, and let us know what you believe. It's an I Believe Friday, His Radio.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His Radio.
I know we just got a text in at 800-447-7234.
Yeah, James said, I believe that God is going to use me today. He said, it's my second day at the hospital as a student for classes, and I'm just looking forward to making somebody's day and saving lives, too.
Way to go, James. Congratulations. Love the picture, by the way, of you and the scrubs. That is so, so good. I Believe Friday. Use the My HISRadio app. Use the open mic and start by saying, I believe. So it's an I Believe Friday. Let's check in with the open mic.
I believe my commute to work is going to be a smooth one, and my day at work is going to be a smooth one, and my weekend is going to be a relaxing and wonderful time.
I believe I will have a good day.
I believe God is in control.
I believe I'm going to have to work tomorrow.
I believe if God is for us, who can stand against us?
I believe the Lord is going to bless me with the ability to take a trip to Israel and walk where he walked.
I believe today is going to be a great day because it's Friday.
I believe that this weekend God is going to blow our mind. Cry out this weekend, you guys.
I believe Jesus loves me, and today will be a beautiful day.
I believe that the Georgia Bulldogs are still the best team in the country. Go Dogs, go Dogs. Woo, 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 woo. I'm right there with you, Scott.
Hi, this is Jackie, and I believe we will celebrate a contract on the sale of our home and the finding of our next home and property this weekend.
I believe every day of this new school year will be a great day.
I believe Liz is going to turn into pumpkin spice.
What? What in the world?
There's an I Believe Friday right there. And I love that Liz and Scott both get a shout out on I Believe Friday.
Yes, that's awesome.
I believe they use the My HISRadio app and the open mic and just start out by saying, I believe.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His Radio.
Getting ready for the big Labor Day weekend. And I love this text that came in. This is James, right?
No, this is from Tammy. And Tammy said she read that today is the first day of meteorological fall. I didn't know there was such a thing. I never heard that term before.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. Meteorological. I can say the word very quickly. Fall.
Well, it's like based on the temperature changes that I guess September 1st, the temperatures start to get a little cooler. And so that's what they say.
It's nice out right now. You can't even tell that we had a tropical storm a couple of days ago that came through. That's just amazing. Okay, so Ninja, our producer, one of our producers, we have Jake and Ninja. Ninja does something. Is this like, Ninja, a tradition every Labor Day weekend with your sister?
Yes. So even though I don't know when the actual first day of fall is, but it doesn't matter because it's fall in our heart starting this weekend, and it's something that we always do. It's kind of like when we allow ourselves to do all of the fall things.
So like they have their pumpkin spice lattes and they wear their cozy sweaters and they pull out the comfy blankets and watch, all the fall shows or maybe even some Christmas stuff, knowing Ninja.
So the sweaters, even if it was, not like it's going to be this weekend, but if it was like 105 this weekend, the sweaters and all the fall garb you'd be wearing?
Because we believe that you dress for the weather that you want. So when you're acting like fall, it brings fall faster.
Oh, is that how it works?
I love it. I want to be part of it.
Listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Somebody really likes peaches. As a matter of fact, they stole some from Clemson University's orchard. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. You wouldn't guess how many pounds of peaches they wound up taking from the orchard at Clemson. Wild guess.
Yeah.
Wild guess.
Yeah, I kind of know that it's more than a bushel. It's quite a bit more than a bushel.
4,000 pounds. First off, how does somebody do that? I mean, I know that they got bolt cutters and they cut the locks and they were able to get in. They must have done this like at 4 a.m. or something. I don't know. But they managed to get away with 4,000 pounds of peaches. And the only reason why they got caught was that somebody turned them in. They were like, okay, these are really big peaches. I know some were stolen from Clemson University, but a couple of guys pulled up in this big truck to a produce stand and said, hey, we got some peaches for you. Want to buy them?
Yeah, I mean, people just don't, drive around with a truckload of peaches normally. And I would think, like, these vendors who have these produce stands, they get to know the local farmers. They get to know where the peaches might be coming from and the different varieties. And this one that Clemson has is one called the Big Red, because it's a much bigger peach. But they're also doing research on these peaches, and so now they're out of it.
Right? 4,000 pounds. I guess they thought they'd make a buck or two going around to local produce stands, but they got caught, and some of the peaches have been returned to the orchard at Clemson, but that still astounds me. That 4,000 pounds of peaches they got away with.
That's a lot of peach pies.
Yeah, I just don't understand why somebody doesn't steal that water tower in Gaffney.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I saw this post, and I have to ask Liz, because she cooks, right? You're more of a baker than a chef or whatever it is. I know there's a difference between baking.
Yeah, but you still use a cookbook.
Yeah. So there's this old church cookbook that somebody posted a recipe out of. Can I tell you what the recipe is?
Yeah, go ahead. Lay it on me.
Stuffed camel.
Huh?
I'm thinking.
Where do you buy one of those? Walmart, Publix?
Right. And I'm kind of thinking maybe this is because it's church and it's a spoof, and you got Christmas and the Wise Men and stuffed camel. I don't know. That's just a guess. But church cookbooks, I remember, were a thing back in the day.
So I thought so too. I thought they were just back in the day. And I have the one I love is one from 1994. It's got like 400 pages in it, and it has everything. Low calorie, the really decadent things. It's got everything.
She has the cookbook right now. I mean, these are yours.
Yes, these are the ones that two of about 25 of these that I have at home. I won't buy like a normal cookbook. I want church cookbooks. These types, because they have the best recipes. They're tried and true, and it's the people in our church that put these together. I have another one that a family friend gave Joey and I when we got married. I don't use it as much, but I use the other one all the time. Somebody posted that their church is putting together a cookbook, and they're going to be on sale soon. I'm like, this is happening again. I want me one.
She'll get one, too. Okay, just open up at random any page and tell me
what the recipe is.
What the recipe is, yeah.
Okay. So on this page, there are about 8 different recipes for chicken dressing casserole.
Wow. Casserole.
Yeah. And you might find one puts celery in it. Well, that's the one I would keep scrolling past because I can't stand celery. And, you might have one that has onion, or it might have more chicken or less chicken, a different chicken, It's crazy.
That makes sense. That's a church cookbook, because every fellowship on Sunday after church has a casserole.
You got to have the casserole. Okay, here's another page. Waikiki meatballs.
Okay.
That's with pineapple.
I had no idea.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Yeah, so it's fall season. That means Meg Ryan movies. Now, she hasn't made any lately. It's been a hot minute since Meg Ryan has been. So you know her from You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle, and even When Harry Met Sally. So she was huge back in the day, and it was all these romantic comedies. Yeah, well, She's coming back. She's got a brand new romantic movie with David Duchovny that's coming out in the next, I guess, month or so.
Who's that? I know Meg Ryan. Who's this David Duchovny guy?
He was in the X-Files, if I'm not mistaken. So he was a bigger actor like back in the day as well. So they're kind of, coming back. But like in the movie, he's her ex-boyfriend. They get stuck in an airport. Oh my goodness, he's super sweet. Because they don't like each other at first, like they're arguing. And now all of a sudden they fall in love.
Is this a Christmas movie? Sounds like a Hallmark thing.
It says it's fall, but sometimes they will put the movies for Christmas out a little earlier because this is probably one of those, less expensive movies. And so, yeah, you might get it a little sooner.
And why did you relate Meg Ryan to fall? All her movies came out in the fall back in the 90s?
If you think about Sleepless in Seattle, like if you think of Meg Ryan in those movies, there's always a sweater and a scarf, and she just always looks so cozy.
Oh, yeah,
and they're fall into Christmas. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the big pivotal moment for Sleepless in Seattle might have been around Valentine's Day, but it's still cooler, colder weather.
Okay. Yeah, because that was the Empire State Building one, right?
Right. That's where they meet on Valentine's
movies.
Day
I
because
just
it's from a movie or whatever. So, yeah.
It still sounds like a Christmas plot.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I love this dog's name. The dog's name is Scout. Great name for a dog. Great name for a dog. Shelter dog, too. So Scout evidently has become quite the escape artist. So Scout, in the middle of the night, will get out of the shelter somehow, the dog shelter, go across a really busy highway, and go into a nursing home and lay down on the couch.
Aw. Now, I love that. I hate that he has to go past a busy highway, but...
Yeah, so they know it's a shelter dog, so they got him back to the shelter. A couple of days later, does the same thing. Right back on that couch. Goes back to the shelter. A couple of nights later, goes back to the nursing home. After several more times of doing this, you know what the nursing home wound up doing?
What?
Adopting the dog.
I was thinking, oh gosh, they just need to adopt him. And they did. Yay!
They did. They love him, and he loves every senior citizen that's in that nursing home. He's become everybody's best friend, and he has his own special place on the couch in that nursing home.
You know what? I think it is so beneficial for those in a hospital, nursing home, anybody that is homebound like that, for an animal to come in. Like, you kind of just forget about all the things you're going through, and maybe some loneliness as well. So I'm glad he's there.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So, pumpkin spice, this whole phenomenon, this whole PSL that happens every time this time of the year at Starbs. It was a concept 20 years ago, and they were thinking, what kind of drink should we have? The PSL almost didn't happen.
Yeah, they were thinking of things like maple pecan, which honestly, I'm having maple pecan coffee this morning, so I think that's a good choice. They thought of a honey nut drink, makes me think about Cheerios, or a cranberry white chocolate mocha. Sounds delicious. But somebody was so passionate about the pumpkin spice, and they pushed, and they pushed, and they pushed. Starbucks finally said, okay, fine.
And now
We
this
did
whole phenomenon, right? Just
Blew
like
up.
in everywhere. I don't think that would have happened with the maple pecan. First, you have to say MPF because it's PSL, right?
Yeah.
Honey nut drink, so that would have been HND, and it wouldn't have been a honey nut craze everywhere, or the CWCM, which
That
is
wouldn't-
cranberry white chocolate mocha. Ew.
That would have been terrible. I think the MPL, because the PSL is pumpkin spice latte, so a maple pecan latte would be MPL. So that might have given it a run for its money.
No, there's nothing like a PSL. Now, I'm not a fan.
Me either.
But still,
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Yeah, it looks like by summer next year, if you're planning a vacation in Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, if your kids love Nerf anything, there's now going to be the Nerf Adventure. I think they call it Nerf Extreme. Nerf Extreme. So it's going to be a whole indoor 29,000 square foot building where it's nothing but Nerf. So you got the Nerf guns, you got the Nerf balls, you got the Nerf everything. It sounds like it's gonna be amazing. I want to bring Eli there.
Well, I hope with the price of admission comes goggles. I hope that's not like an extra fee that you got to rent the goggles because, oh my goodness, you need goggles.
Right? And Scott's, is it your son that I know he likes Legos, but what about the Nerf stuff?
Yeah, he's got the Nerf gun, the Nerf bullets zinging around. And what I remember the first time I heard about this was the Nerf balls that I had growing up. About every one of them had a chunk out of it,
Right.
Like
yes.
the dog would get a hold of it, or some kids would take a bite out of it for some reason. It
You
always
don't
have
give
a
them
chunk.
snacks?
We had snacks, but somehow the balls never made it intact.
100%. Yeah, there's
you remember that?
kind of a dent or something
Yes.
out of it, right? And then
So hopefully these will be nice.
I think so. So it's going to be called the Nerf Action Experience. Check this out. They have this battle blaster zone that's going to be in there. Sport challenges like an obstacle course and even a dunk thing where you can dunk the Nerf balls. I mean, come on. How cool.
Thought it was a dunk tank,
That's
one of those
awesome.
nasty things.
Oh, no, don't
Ew.
get anywhere near one of those cesspools.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
This may happen to you. I don't know, but I'm going to guess it does. You get this text message. It sounds like the person knows who you are, but you don't have them in your contacts, so it's just a number. So one way that you battle that is you text back, who is this? Question mark,
New number, who dis? New phone,
Right? And they could be in your contacts, and for some reason you got a new phone and they're not there anymore. They kind of got dumped in the contacts. Something weird happened. You don't have it set up right. And so there's a hack for that, believe it or not. So these apps like Venmo, and there's some other apps too where you trade money back. Well, I don't want to say trade money, but if somebody needs money, you use Venmo, right?
Yeah, well, like Zelle or Cash App. I use Venmo myself. You can do PayPal, all these types of things.
So check this out. So if you have that number and you're trying to figure out who it is, but you don't want to let them know you don't know who they are, you open up one of those apps and there's a possibility they could be in the app and their name shows up. Boom, what a hack.
Yeah, if they put their phone number in, and I think at least in Venmo, I think you kind of have to, then you'll see their picture, you'll see their name, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, that's Rob. I forgot his number all of a sudden. And so then you know.
Well, listen, who memorizes numbers anymore? I mean,
Nobody.
I have a hard time remembering my wife's cell phone number because I don't have to. All I have to do is say, Siri, call. Oh, I better not.
Yeah.
I'll wake her up.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So one of my favorite kids movies of all time is Cinderella. I love that story so much, and the movie is so beautiful. So it came out in 4K earlier this year. I don't have a 4K TV, so I haven't been able to see the difference.
Are you sure you don't have a 4K TV?
Look, that's what my husband told me. I'm not real technical. So when my husband tells me.
then you don't have a 4K TV.
Right.
I'm so sorry. You're missing out on so much.
Well, I was like, well, what's the difference? He said, well, it's higher resolution. Okay, I get that. But if you don't have the 4K TV, then it doesn't, the new things that are coming out, the new content doesn't make sense.
You're not really missing much.
Really?
Seriously. I mean, all the TVs are nice. 4K is nice to have, but if you don't have it, you don't know, the clarity and all that other stuff. It's just another thing to buy.
Well, it's the thing. But now another one of these kids' movies that I love, the original ever movie from Disney from 1937, Snow White, is now being put in 4K. This thing's been out since 1937.
It shocks me they can do that. They can make a film from the 30s, the 1930s, into a 4K. But,
Right?
it's all technology. They can do whatever they want.